ResortLoop.com is proud to be sponsored by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea, the official specialty coffee of Disney Parks. You can find Joffrey's Coffee and specialty drinks in the parks, at Disney Springs, or online at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The body of water that you see to the right of our forward motion is the Seven Seas Lagoon. The Seven Seas Lagoon is a man-made creation that took 3 years and the removal of millions of cubic yards of earth to complete.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com, Gateway to the Magic. Today, we're going to talk about something maybe not quite so magical, but something that's in the news right now, and I'm not sure I'd really like to cover anything this topical. We're going to talk about the coronavirus just a little bit. But I figured this is a good... We've done this before. Shows it'd be good to have in the archives in case there's something similar down the line. Something, heaven forbid, happens again. We'll kind of know, what happened. How did Disney handle this? What was the stage of events? So we'll start with the coronavirus. I don't want to get into anything too technical. Talk about how it's affecting Disney, how it could be affecting your vacation depending on what you're doing, and just to kind of make everybody aware. But right now, if you're planning on going to the China parks, Hong Kong, Shanghai, you can't do it. One, airlines aren't going there right now, and two, the parks are closed. And right now, they're going to be closed indefinitely. I've seen estimates anywhere between, this is going to cost Disney between $175 up to $280 million or more, depending on how long this goes on. We're just at the kind of beginning of this, so we don't know if this coronavirus is going to maybe hit its peak soon or has hit its peak. We're just going to talk about what Disney's doing. So Disney and the Chinese government have closed the parks. Actually, they even have gone so far as I've seen as put a no-hug policy in. So they're trying to nip this in the bud over there. We'll see how long the parks stay closed. I kind of hate to, when tourism is cut down for any reason, it's just kind of like one of the best ways for, good PR and goodwill across the world for kind of people to see each other and visit other countries, but we'll see how that goes. Now, for right now, besides the Chinese parks being closed, the biggest industry this is going to affect is going to be the cruise line industry. Right now, the Cruise Lines International Association has put out a statement. The statement goes on to say, given the evolving nature of the ongoing 2019 corona outbreak, and based upon prevailing guidance from global health authorities, including the World Health Organization, the Cruise Line Association has adopted the following enhanced protocols for ocean-going guests and crew who have recently traveled from or through China, including Hong Kong and Macau. These enhanced policies, which are in effect as of the 7th of February, 2020, are they're building upon those that were implemented on January 31st and continue to allow for informed decisions on a case-by-case basis whether a guest or crew member will be permitted to board. So if you've been to China, there's a good chance you're not going to be able to get on any cruise ship, just not cruise ships, but any cruise ship. It says cruise lines are to deny boarding to all persons who have traveled from, visited, or transitioned by way of airports in China, including Hong Kong and Macau, within 14 days before embarkation, before leaving for your cruise. They're also able to deny boarding to all persons who, within 14 days before embarkation, have had close contact with or helped to care for anyone suspected of being diagnosed as having coronavirus or is currently subject to health monitoring for possible exposure to the new coronavirus. And also, the cruise lines are going to be conducting pre-boarding screening necessary to effectuate these prevention measures to enhance the screening and initial medical support are to be provided as needed to any persons exhibiting symptoms of the coronavirus. So just to break this down quickly, if you've been in China or you've helped care for anybody from China that could have this coronavirus or has maybe been exposed, you're probably not going to be able to board the ship. Now, this is a day-by-day thing. They're reassessing all this as the situation goes on. If you've not been to China and you're not been near anyone who's been to China, you'll be fine, but I just wanted to bring that out there because we're going to talk about it in a second about statements that Disney has put out for some upcoming cruises. And there's going to be some new questions before you go on any cruise right now, it looks like. There's going to be a questionnaire that you're going to have to fill out. But you're going to have to put, what cruise you're on, your passport name, any children they're going to have with you, and the questions are going to consist of things like these. To assist us in protecting the health and safety of passengers and crew on this cruise, we require you to answer the following questions. Have you or any person listed above on your sheet that you filled out traveled from or through China, including Hong Kong or Macau, in the past 14 days? That's only a yes or no answer. Have you or any person had close contact with or helped care for anyone suspected or diagnosed of having the novel coronavirus, or who is currently subject to health monitoring for possible exposure to the coronavirus? Again, a yes or no answer. And do you or any persons listed above have a fever, 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees or higher, feel feverish or have chills, a cough, or difficulty breathing? Again, or a yes or no answer. And they go on to say, if you answered yes to question 3, the one about the fever, you will be assessed free of charge by a member of the shipboard medical staff. You will be allowed to travel unless you are suspected to have an illness of international public health concern, code word for the coronavirus. They also go on to say the information on the questionnaire may be reported to relevant public health authorities. Penalties may apply to an individual who knowingly and willfully makes a false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation. Then you sign it, say all that's true. Again, if you've not been to China, haven't been around anybody that's been to China with any kind of symptoms, you'll be fine to go on your cruise. Just throwing that out there. I already brought this up to some cruises we have planned through Resort Loop Travel, but you might want to check with your own travel agent, or check out if you book by yourself, you want to check that out, or again, check with your own travel agent. Make sure you're going to be good to go for your cruise and you're prepared for any additional paperwork that might pop up right before you get on the ship. Now, Disney has put out their own statement. If you have a cruise coming up, I'm going to touch on that just a little bit. And if you didn't get the statement yet, they're probably not concerned about your cruise. Your cruise is probably far enough in the future. They're waiting to see how it goes. But these are for cruises coming up in the next couple weeks or so. It says, at Disney Cruise Line, nothing is more important than the well-being of our guests and crew members. Therefore, we want to provide you and your clients with some information in advance of their cruise vacation. Due to the novel coronavirus, first identified in Wuhan, China, the U.S. State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory recommending no travel to China. Disney Cruise Line is carefully monitoring the latest information about this situation, is in close contact with local, state, national, and international health agencies for information and guidance. Disney Cruise Line, along with other members of the cruise lines industry, has further enhanced the screening process, this is about the form and other things we just talked about, for guests and crew members boarding cruise ships. In an abundance of caution, and given the unique environment of a cruise ship, guests and crew members who indicate they have traveled from or through China in the past 14 days, including Hong Kong and Macau, will not be able to board. In addition, we didn't talk about this yet, the Bahamas will not allow anyone to disembark in any Bahamian port if they have been to China in the past 20 days prior to their arrival. The statement goes on to say, if your clients or a member of their stateroom party have traveled from or through China, including Hong Kong and Macau, or have been in close contact with or helped care for anyone suspected or diagnosed with the coronavirus, or is currently subject to health monitoring for possible exposure within 20 days of arrival of their cruise vacation, it says to please contact them. Then they list a couple numbers. So again, if this is what the Cruise Line Association put out, this is just Disney relaying that information and saying if there's a problem, then you need to give them a call. Now, we don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to request that you change your cruise. Maybe they'll refund. I don't know. I've not called the numbers. That has not involved any of our clients here. I'm just throwing it out there that, again, if you have another cruise booked through someone else, just be aware of this. As a reminder, Disney Cruise Line employs rigorous sanitation standards and consistently receives among the highest scores on public health inspections. I'm going to interrupt real quick. That is so true. Anybody, and if you've been on the Disney cruise, you know there's no cleaner ships on the seas. There are people constantly cleaning, wiping down things, handing you wipes whenever you go in to eat. So just, if there's a cruise you want to go on, you're worried about anything like that, Disney was where you want to be. We have a comprehensive plan that outlines protocols for managing this type of situation and closely follow the guidance of public health officials. For the most up-to-date information and a list of everyday preventive actions you can take to avoid the spread of germs, visit the Centers for Disease Control. It's at cdc.gov. So that's Disney's stance on everything involving the coronavirus. As this thing develops, it could affect more ports. The Bahamas aren't letting you get off. I thought I heard that even included Castaway Cay. Not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that somewhere. I'll have to look for that. So I'm going to wrap this up shortly. I know this is the most entertaining of shows, but again, I think it's very important information. You might be thinking, Tim, I have insurance on this trip. Will that cover me wanting to cancel? And insurance, tremendously complicated. So many different insurance companies out there, so many different policies under each of these. It's just going to depend on your policy. Because some of the time when you see something that says cancel for any reason, it's not really cancel for any reason. And if it is, you're only going to get a fraction maybe of the price of the cruise, or you're going to have to reschedule your cruise. It's on such a case-by-case basis. But I will say, I did a little research through a couple other insurance companies. I found some information here I just thought I would share. It says, as of February 3rd, both the Centers for Disease Control and the World Health Organization have recognized the 2019 novel coronavirus as an epidemic. It says many travel protection plans exclude losses caused directly or indirectly by an epidemic. Refer to your plan to learn whether this exclusion applies to you. So here's just one company. I'm just reading one of these saying, again, they're saying it depends on what you have. It says customers whose plan includes an epidemic exclusion may still have coverage for a covered loss occurring on or prior to February 3rd. It says, in addition, for customers booking trips to China and other impacted areas, the coronavirus became a known event on January 22nd, 2020. Travel protection plans generally exclude losses caused by events that were known or foreseeable at the time the plan is purchased. So if you buy travel insurance after coronavirus is already a thing, it's just like hurricanes. If you try to buy a travel insurance after a hurricane is declared a hurricane, it won't cover that. But if you say you bought this over a year ago because you knew you were taking your trip, it might be covered depending on if epidemics and that kind of thing was in your policy. So realizing with the date frame, it really won't matter right now, but looking to the future, if you're going to somewhere like China or somewhere far east, far west, anywhere, and you just want to maybe be covered for something like this in case there's some kind of illnesses going around. I don't like to use the word outbreak or epidemic necessarily because it sounds very panicky and sky is falling type thing. But it's just something to be aware of. That's what this episode's about, just kind of stuff to be aware of. If you have a cruise coming up, you're thinking of booking a cruise, knowledge is power. Knowledge helps you take control so you know what to expect should something happen. I will say, one nice thing some travel insurance companies are doing right now, they're refunding refunds for the cost of your travel protection plan for customers whose cruises may have been canceled. So, if the cruise line cancels your cruise, you'll be good with your money. But some of these companies are maybe refunding the cost of your insurance on the trip since it never happened to begin with. Again, it depends on the insurance company, the coverage you have, the fine print. I'm not an insurance guy. Something to be aware of. I'm just going to wrap it up here because to go into any other topics after talking about coronavirus and insurance and the CDC would just not be fun. But again, I hope this was some good information we can use going forward, looking for cruises. Maybe you're traveling to mainland China. I will say I hope nothing from this helps to maybe give Disney the idea to boost prices everywhere else to make up for the losses they might have in Asia for a while. So we all remember the Thanks Shanghai hashtag on Twitter a couple years ago. Everybody, thanks for joining us. I just thought it was some information we had to get out there in the midst of what's going on right now. For the latest up-to-date information, check out the Disney websites, the cruise line websites. Check out cdc.gov. If this goes on and on, maybe we'll cover it some more in the near future, but I just wanted to get it out there this one time. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com. The next episode will be a lot more fun. See you, everybody. Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote or for more information visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.